and I just need to strap in.
Great job.
Is that tea good?
Great job. Y'all, I know you've heard it for a month straight now, but this is just my voice now. This is who I am.
Y'all,
this is me now.
Miranda cannot shake whatever this is. We don't know because she's taken antibiotics. She's done all the things, but it has just settled. It has settled in her sinuses, in her throat, in her lungs.
It's bad.
It's bad.
It's really bad.
But guess what? We still got to deliver.
That's right. And the Bravo doesn't stop.
Bravo
doesn't stop.
doesn't stop. As I just said, the content continues to be pouring out. The
Every minute.
The 911s, the Salt Lake City 911s continue. The alarm is sounding.
Yeah.
Every hour on the hour. It's
Is that what an alarm sounds like?
You were
That's
doing, I think, maybe like a British one.
Maybe.
You know how over there, it's different.
Yeah. And
They're
it's just classier.
It is, of course.
Of course it is.
You can say anything in a British accent and you sound intelligent.
It's true.
It doesn't matter what it is.
It's true. And speaking of Bravo, money can't buy you class. And we know that Lou Mann herself has made that famous.
Eggs a la française.
Yeah. She was making that. She's made it all girls trip. And then the guy threw her a bone and was like, these really are the best eggs I've ever had, Miss Luann.
Oh, Lord. I mean, I would taste them.
Yeah, I mean, I would taste them, but I mean, they're just scrambled eggs.
Just scrambled eggs.
You're telling me it's the best egg you've ever had?
I think she puts a little
water.
She
puts
green.
water in it.
Is there anything kind of
and then
green?
a chive on top.
A chive. She puts a chive.
And I do love a chive, and so do you.
Yes.
So only onion, I love a scallion, and I love a chive.
Okay. But you don't like any, do you like a cooked onion?
Yes, I love a cooked onion.
Okay.
I just don't love a raw onion.
Okay. Speaking of.
Thank you.
I just made this girl a chopped sandwich. Now, it wasn't a wrap, so we weren't traditional sandwich, but I put them on a couple tortillas.
Yeah.
Mine had onion.
Tortillas.
Tortilla.
That's for la cosicasita.
La cosita. Tu tortilla. Dos tortillas.
Those tortillas. I don't know what sandwich is. It might be sandwiches.
It could be.
I don't know.
Or sandwich.
It might be. Maybe that's what they call it.
So
But you did make it
I
for
made
me.
this for her because she is so unwell.
You've taken such good care of me.
We've got another hot tea going.
She made me another hot tea.
I'm hoping this is going to be the magical juice we need.
That means in less than a week, Kristen has made me 2 teas and a wrap. And
2
that
teas. We're still coming back to
Oh
2
my-
teas.
And these 2 teas are still deflated.
Still deflating, and I think that we just leave them. Let's not even try anymore.
That's not even.
And as the weeks go on, I mean, really only the YouTube people are going to get to see.
And that's 9.
And
9 of them.
That's 9 of them. 9 views.
Like 9 lemons in a bowl.
9 lemons in a bowl.
Everything comes back to Bravo.
12 taps like Jack's.
Everything always comes back to Bravo. I will say, speaking of forehead,
Yeah.
that pimple went away lightning speed.
Because it wasn't even a full, it was a risen, small risen section of your skin. It wasn't.
It went away.
Y'all, I got to see it up close. It never came to a head. It was never poppable. Y'all know I would have popped it if I could.
Yeah,
There
it
was
wasn't.
nothing. It was just like a risen section and then it just went away.
It did. It went away very quickly. Well, I have another risen section, but I get them right here. One here and one here.
And I do sometimes get them under there.
I wonder what that is. I almost
wonder.
think it's a like blood vessel
Yeah.
or something. And I think it might be from blowing my nose so much.
Oh, it could be.
My eyes watering so much.
Yes.
Because I do sometimes, like when you are just blowing and blowing it. I know no one wants to hear it. I got it. Sorry. It was the meme. I shared the meme.
Gary Janetti.
Gary Janetti.
I did. I showed it to Matt. We were cackling. He says, please tell me more about your sickness. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Tell me more. I'm like, I know. I got it. I'm so sorry. Here's the thing. I never want to talk about it. And who we talked about this with Danny.
Yeah.
That you don't want to talk about it online, especially if you're a public person, because everyone then wants to write you and tell you and suggest all the things and blah, blah, blah. And
Right.
it's like, I know I really have tried, I promise. And but this is how I sound.
Yeah.
So
This is you now.
I can't hide it.
You can't.
We record.
I know.
This is a podcast.
I know. And people are going to come with more suggestions.
Yeah, and they're going to hear it. And so it's if I don't just call it out, then people are like, why do you sound like that? And then if I do call it out, then people are like, we're sick of hearing about your sickness.
But you know
and
what?
then there's the middle of the road people who want to help.
That's true.
And I love that. And that's very sweet. And then if I don't, and because I'm on Instagram again, if I go forward facing and show you what I look like, you can tell I'm sick. If I start to talk, you can hear I'm sick. So then to pretend like I'm not sick is weird.
Well, this is important to say because we're going to have so many new listeners on this particular episode.
Right.
I'm naming and claiming that.
Yes.
Hey, everybody, all you new people. Welcome to our podcast. This is All That to Say.
And it is our inaugural.
That's right.
It's our inaugural new series. Dedicated only
to Bravo.
To Bravo, baby.
Y'all, we're doing it.
Bravo, effing Bravo.
We're going to come up with a cute name for it.
Have we done that yet?
No. But this is such a Bravo 911 that we're in.
We didn't even have the time to workshop
We didn't have any time because I texted her and I said, pack your bags. Monica is the burner account. We got to talk about this on the pod. This is going to be our very first Bravo episode, and we'll kick it off with that.
And she said, pack your bags full of Mucinex, is what she said, to bring it back because I'm sick.
Because she's sick.
No, but I'm showing up, and we have to because you're right. Time is of the essence.
It is. With stuff like this, it's just, and the new information is unfolding.
Yeah.
We walked in here, and she told me things I had not even seen yet on Instagram today.
Right.
I said, what? What are you talking about? What's this? What's that?
Because you've been busy making my sandwich.
Making your sandwich.
So
Every time.
You haven't. If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. You're always making me sandwiches. And it's preventing you from being on Instagram enough. But honestly, things are coming out so fast. It's feeling Scandival.
It's giving Scandival.
And
I'm really proud of the Salt Lake City ladies for that.
Yeah, me too. But who told you that this franchise would be a hit?
Who said it in 2019.
2019
at
BravoCon. We were sitting in that gorgeous theater.
Yep.
Behind Hey Nazarene.
I
remember this.
Yes.
We were sitting behind Hey Nazarene.
You're right.
And I think that was at Watch What Happens Live, but it was in the same theater. Anyway.
It was. Yeah.
We were watching some panel, something, and Andy said.
He had a big announcement.
There's a new franchise, a new city.
And I think it came up on the screen, right?
Came up. The flurries were happening.
It said Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
And Kristen and I were so excited.
So excited. And I couldn't tell what everybody else thought of this, but we knew because
You knew.
I knew. Because I follow enough of these Mormon mommy blogger Instagram girlies.
That's the difference between you and me.
Yeah.
It's the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only difference.
The only difference. Is Kristen loves a Mormon Utah blogger girl.
I do because, and listen, they got to be rich.
Yeah.
Because here's the
You
thing.
want Parcell rich.
I want Rachel Parcell rich. Because here's why. Just like my housewives, I want them rich because I want to look behind the gates. I want to pull behind the curtain and I want to see.
Dakota to Closet Gates.
Dakota to Closet Gates.
Yeah.
I want to see how they live. And so I am fascinated with Rachel.
Yeah.
She's a great example.
Yeah.
Her pantry is the size of some people's homes.
Mine.
I mean,
I can tell you that for a fact. Actually, I've seen the square footage and I know this.
It's insane. This is her pantry. And so
her island is bigger than my bedroom. Her kitchen island is bigger than my bedroom.
It's bigger than this room that we are in.
Yeah. Easily.
And so I want more. I want her to show me more. Now, I think she does try to hold back because people are crazy. Maybe somebody might come stalk her kids, whatever. But I remember one time she revealed her closet designated just to candles. Her candle closet.
Absolutely not.
Y'all, there were 3 wicks, 5 wicks.
It's giving candy spelling gift wrapping.
It is.
Closet.
It is.
Remember when we were all blown away by this?
I do remember that. I do.
And I don't know if it was on Cribs or if it was on like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Yes.
Or something. Or maybe they just did an expose on candy spelling. But I remember finding out, watching, that she had a gift wrapping closet.
I
also believe she had like a tall closet, but whatever.
Yeah.
But like it was a room. It wasn't even a closet.
It was a room.
It was a room.
Gift wrappings, bags,
bows,
tissue,
ribbon.
Another.
multiple scissors.
Scissors,
Another one.
tape,
Yes.
gift
Another
tags.
one.
Yes.
I mean, it was dedicated. And you know what? Obviously, that speaks to me. I love to give a gift. I would love to have a designated room where once I buy the gift, I just walk in and here's all these options.
Wow.
Good as gold.
God,
Sheena
Sheena
Shea.
Shea. That would be amazing for you. But I remember that. And so I think that social media and the voyeurism of
Yes.
it gives us that. And following an uber wealthy Mormon blogger.
It's the best.
And so you were following all these girlies and what Kristen said to me. And so, but I was just excited because I just wanted a new city. I
Yeah.
wanted new blood,
Yeah.
new girls, new rich,
And
new
you,
everything.
And you know that there's money in Salt Lake. It's the #1 city for plastic surgery in the United States of America.
That's what, so Kristen's sitting there and people are kind of like, hemming and hawing over it. And Kristen announces to our section, it's the #1 city for plastic surgery in all the United States.
It is.
And all of a sudden everybody goes, Yay! Oh my God. It was so funny.
Andy should have gotten me down there
You had people eating out of your hands.
on the lower level.
Yeah.
If he had brought me down there, Luann, down in the lower level, I could have gotten
in the basement at Ramona's Hampton's house. Y'all know this.
in the basement. I mean, but she liked to call it lower
It's
level.
a circular staircase down to a basement. Does that make it bad?
Well, there were no windows. I think that was the problem. But I love. We would like
We
that.
would sleep so great there. Also, it's very safe.
It's very
in an
safe.
emergency.
That's true. Unless
Vigilant.
there's a fire.
Okay, true. Okay, but that staircase was wide. You could
it was.
get in and you could get out.
I would have been pleased as punch to be down there in a cold, dark basement.
Pleased as punch.
Pleased as punch. So anyway, y'all, we knew from the jump, 2019 announcement, that this city was going to deliver. And I would say
city is my city, and I love it. Yeah, I love it.
what is that from?
It's from the Hornets games.
What?
They play it at our Hornets game.
I thought you were going to say Come From Away or whatever that show is.
No, but that is a great musical. No, this one is what they play at the Hornets games. It's a bop. And
That's a bop.
If I can find it, I'll put it on Spotify.
You must.
If I can find it. I don't know if it's like, if they just wrote it as a jingle for the
Well,
Hornets.
it was giving, we built this
It is.
city.
Yeah.
But you went in a different direction.
Yeah. And yeah. I was going to sing some more of it, and then I realized what I sound like, and people are like, we don't recognize it at all.
Yeah.
Even if it is a popular song. Maybe that's what's preventing you from hearing it. They're like, no, it's by Mariah Carey. Like, we all know this. You're just not singing it well because
Maybe
you
that's
sound like
what it
this.
is. Okay.
I'll find it.
She'll find it. Okay, but the point is
That Salt Lake City, we knew it's going to be good.
Yep.
It's been consistently
It's
good.
been.
We think.
I think from the jump, it's been good.
hello.
I think season 1, it was giving. And you usually don't get that with new franchises. It was giving from season 1.
Absolutely. We had one of the main cast members go to prison.
Yeah.
What
Go to
more
prison.
do you want
What more do
out
you
of your
want?
housewives?
I mean, the drama, and I would say that cast member, Jen Shaw, gave us so much leading up to her going to prison.
She's what we want.
She's what we want.
She's what we want.
It's so messy.
Chaotic.
It's chaotic. It's
bizarre
messy.
to look at.
Yes. Oh.
The
I-
assistants and the husband and
Her face.
her face.
And-
It was hard. That, like I said,
Are we allowed to? I just have to say that.
you look
And
at
I-
it like this.
yeah, it's,
What's she doing?
and I feel like we're not judging somebody's looks because that actually isn't what she should look like.
right.
Like you look at the old photos of her, she's beautiful.
Beautiful. What we're saying
Beautiful.
is she did too much.
What she's done to
She
herself
did too much.
is now a jump scare.
Yeah. Y'all imagine. And here's the thing. When they were doing the flashbacks to last season after the black eye and she's sitting next to Meredith Marks.
Yeah.
She has no makeup on.
No makeup.
No glam.
And Meredith, must say, looks fabulous without makeup.
Fabulous.
Yeah, Meredith, whatever you're doing, it's working.
It's working. And like we're saying, like some people are doing too much.
Yes.
And some people are doing it just right.
Yes.
And for me, Jen in that scene, yes, she looked overly puffy, but at least it wasn't a jump scare.
It wasn't it wasn't
sometimes
startling.
Glam does not help her because she already has such exaggerated eyebrows.
Yes.
And things like that where she's just lifted to the gods.
Yeah.
And then you add a pencil on top of that.
Yeah.
A dark, dark pencil.
She's giving it almost ends up making her look more masculine. Like the more makeup and hair and nails and glam that you're putting on her, the more masculine she becomes.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Anyway, she's not wearing any of that in prison now.
No.
And she's not getting any of her stuff done.
No.
I'm curious what she will emerge
I want
looking like.
to see what she looks like. Now,
What
if
will
she had
that
been
be?
smart, she would have injected Sculptra before she went to prison.
Yeah.
Sculptra is, a lot of people think it's a filler. It is.
Let me tell you what Sculptra is, you guys.
It is not. And I hope I'm saying the right one. Yes, Sculptra. It is a collagen stimulator. So you are going to inject it places that you want filled,
Okay.
right? Wherever you're going to lose volume, that's where you're going to put it. In your temples, in your cheeks, under your eyes, your chin, whatever.
Okay.
And its job is to just stimulate collagen over the years. So it's going to build back, not build back better, but build back collagen. Build back collagen wherever you're losing it. And it's going, so I bet she did that before she left. I guarantee it.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
just
ask
gonna
her?
double check that it's Sculptra.
You're gonna write her? Like, what are you grabbing your phone for? You're gonna find out the prison address and send her a little snail mail.
Maybe I will.
Not to
Maybe
be
I
confused
will.
with snail mucin. Maybe
I was
she's
right.
Getting that too.
Sculptra.
Okay, of course you were.
Boost natural collagen.
You know
Improve skin
this.
quality. Bring out your youthful glow with Sculptra USA.
What are the things that people are getting?
Threads.
No, I mean, remember I sent you the thing of the person and she got something injected here by a former housewife.
Yeah.
Remember the girl in Dallas who gets
Oh.
stuff injected by a former Dallas
mhm,
housewife?
Mm-hmm.
And they put it in and it looks fine from when you're resting like this.
Yeah.
But the second you smile,
Yeah.
that line
The
of
line
filler
is,
goes up.
it's sharp and it goes up in her face. And that's just filler.
Okay, so ladies,
That's
let
filler.
this just be a PSA.
Yeah, tell them.
Some things, you know me, because all of my times I've gotten
Tell
filler.
them.
But let that be a lesson that, yes, at rest,
Mhm.
this might look fine.
Sure.
But you also need to be smiling and moving your face and
Yeah.
stuff. And maybe some of them can't smile anymore.
Oh, well, Larsa cannot. I'm sorry. We told y'all on the BravoCon episodes. Go back and listen if you haven't.
Larsa,
It looked painful.
it's-
And we saw her in person.
and it looks painful in person
She
too.
cannot smile. She cannot move her face because it's so puffed up and filled
Mm-hmm.
that she's smiling and it's just like this.
It's just, she can't hurt.
She
I
can't-
don't know.
she
And
can't-
she's sewing, and it's like you can barely do
It's
it.
so bad.
It's reminiscent of Kim Zolciak Bierman, now no longer Bierman.
Ooh.
It's giving when she got her lips so overly done and they couldn't come together anymore.
That's right. She couldn't even close her mouth. She was a mouth breather.
So she was just whistling
Yeah.
as she was walking by things because the air was hitting her.
Yes.
And she was like drooling.
Oh, it's
because her
bad.
lips wouldn't close.
It's so bad.
At some point, I do need people to say enough's enough.
Yeah.
Enough is enough.
In the words of Taylor Armstrong, enough.
Enough, in the words of Taylor Armstrong. That's right. And
All roads.
all roads lead back to Bravo. So this is not obviously our first Bravo podcast. We have done so many Bravo-related podcasts on All That to Say.
Yes.
We've gone to all 3 Bravo cons.
Yes.
We have brought you the hot fire content
Yes.
from all of them.
We've been watching since those gates opened.
And let us not forget, those are Tammy Knickerbocker's gates.
Oh, they are?
Those are Tammy Knickerbocker's
In
gates.
the OC intro.
In the OC intro. Those are not Vicky's.
They're not Vicky's.
As you know. They are not any Gina's. They are not Gina Keogh's. They are none of the original OC girls.
I
but
never knew
they
this.
Are Tammy Knickerbocker's. And that's her one claim to fame.
Wow.
When she's like, yeah, I wasn't a really great housewife. I didn't last very long.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
storyline was kind of
Yeah.
boring. But the gates were
But
mine.
the gates are hers, baby.
The gates were mine, and they filmed it opening and closing, and that's the moment we have seared in our brains.
Yes.
When we were launched on this housewife journey. And that
And
is...
thank God for it. Thank God. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Bravo editors,
my
producers. Thank you, Peacock. Thank you all for giving us this content over the years. And these moments that we just had the other night with Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, this is why we're in the long game.
Yeah.
Not every episode is going to be through the roof.
No.
Amazing.
Not every city is going to hit.
Not every city's going to hit.
Not every girl's going to work. Tammy Knickerbocker.
But sometimes
it all comes together.
It all comes together. A la DC, Real Housewives of DC. We got one season of that.
Yeah.
Okay, because it wasn't giving a lot, but there
No.
was one episode that gave.
That's right. Mikhail
Sneaking
into the White House.
Sneaking into the White House.
And we got to see it.
And the cameras were there, and they shook hands with the Obamas, and it was a whole thing. And I would love to revisit that if we could.
Let's see. Is it on Peacock?
It probably is. It's got to be.
Well, we might rewatch.
We should rewatch.
DC as a fun thing to do on this one.
I think that would be fun.
That could be cool.
Yes.
Because the thing the problem with DC, there wasn't enough. I mean, there's tons of wealth there.
Yeah.
But this just wasn't giving it.
It wasn't. I think they mushed several women together
Yeah.
who weren't really friends in real life or didn't really know each other. You have to have some natural overlap.
Yeah, you do.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what gives the drama.
And that's what we had. Like, for example, with Salt Lake, we had Whitney and Heather being cousins.
That's right.
Much like Melissa and Teresa being sisters-in-law.
That's right. Meredith and Lisa have been friends for a long time. Like,
sisters-in-law.
As long as you
Can I go back to that?
Sisters-in-law.
Sisters-in-law. Yeah. When we're pluralizing that, a lot of people do sister-in-laws.
Yeah.
But that's saying more than one law instead of more than one sister.
Sisters-in-law.
And what you're trying to do is say more than one sister. That's what you're talking about. So when you're saying, I love my sisters-in-law.
Do you think people
S
ever
goes on sister.
put an apostrophe before that S? I bet they do.
I bet someone has, but I don't see it often. But I see sister-in-laws a lot.
I see that a lot.
I see sisters. I see sister-in-laws. But
what if you were
sisters-in-law.
saying, those are my
sister-in-law's boots? Then
what if there's
two sisters?
Say that those are my son-in-laws. It's sons-in-law. Okay, so I do hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Because now that I'm thinking that
You do.
through, people say, I have two son-in-laws.
Mm-hmm, they do. But that would be saying two laws. Multiple laws.
It's
Remember, add the
sons-in-law.
S where you're trying to pluralize.
Okay.
And
Wow.
I know that you think it sounds weird, but it only sounds weird because so many people are doing it incorrectly.
That's right.
And if more people would be doing it correctly, then it would start to sound normal
Then
again.
we wouldn't have this problem.
That's right. But I just wanted to touch on that.
You just wanted to rewind.
Any chance I get to have a teachable moment when it comes to grammar and combining the housewives.
Yes.
When else are we going to do it?
100%.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I had to talk about Teresa and Melissa.
I mean, but you mentioning that is such a good example of the drama that's built in. And
Yeah.
it's always going to be giving. And we're going to touch back on that in a moment.
Okay.
Because I've seen all the comments. Okay. So let's real quick,
Yeah.
because we've had some DMs from people saying, okay, I've watched halfway through Salt Lake.
Ooh.
You know, I've only seen season 1. Can you tell me what's going on? And so I've had to in 3 sentences say, ultimately, here's what happened.
Okay.
So here's what happened. If you're just tuning in and you just want to hear,
Yeah.
let's tell them.
I mean, if this is Jack Thomas,
Yeah.
and he is going to listen.
Jack Thomas is going to listen.
Okay. So, Dad, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is a franchise of our housewife genre.
Yes.
And it's a lot of rich women out there skiing on the slopes.
Yes.
They love to ski.
They love to ski, and they're skiing in Fendi, Gucci,
Yeah.
Prada.
It's amazing, head to toe.
Yeah.
These are details that don't matter, but we're going to give them anyway. Okay, so there's the core group of them.
Mm-hmm.
Core four.
Core 4. Yeah.
And it added into this group was a woman named Jen Shaw.
Yep.
And Jen, was she original?
I think she was.
Oh, so she might have been a core 5.
She would have been the core 5.
Okay, but Jen Shaw ran this scheming business where she created lead lists intentionally preying upon the elderly
Yep.
and scammed them out of a ton of money
Yep.
and never produced a product for it, which ultimately sent her to prison.
Yes.
And so before she went, though, she denied all of these allegations and all of these charges.
Yes. She
And-
lived a very bougie lifestyle.
Yeah.
Over the top, had multiple assistants, homes, all the things that a rich woman might have,
Yes.
claiming her innocence all along.
And one of the people who rode hardest for her innocence was Heather Gay.
Yes.
Heather Gay just believed and believed and believed in Jen. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
I don't know why, but she did. And to the point of last season, they went on a cast trip and Heather presents a black eye to the group the next morning
Yeah.
and acts as though she has no clue where she got it.
Yep.
Jen and her had been very drunk the night before, as had Meredith.
Yeah.
They had kind of been wrestling and messing around and stuff like that. And still, don't say that could have been it.
No, Heather's just like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know how I got it.
At the reunion, she kind of doubles down and says, well, I do remember, but I was just very drunk. And in my Mormon trauma, it's very shameful to have overindulged.
That's right.
And so I was very embarrassed in not remembering and blacking out. And that's really what it was.
Yeah. And I just didn't want to talk about it.
I just didn't want to talk about it. So Jen eventually gets sent. Oh, Jen, all of a sudden at the 11th hour.
Yes. So she's going to go to her trial.
Yeah.
This is important.
First
She's going to go to her trial where she's maintained her innocence and she's saying, I'm going to fight this and I'm not going to prison. I am innocent. Mm-hmm. But at the very last second.
I mean, she flew in some of these girls.
She did.
To support her.
They're in a hotel room
the
night before saying, we're here for you. We support you. She's like, you guys, I didn't do this. I'm going to fight it. The next morning, as she's going in, she puts in a guilty plea.
Yep. She says, I'm guilty.
I'm guilty.
And people are shocked. Now, we're not shocked.
None of us were shocked.
But apparently some of these girls were shocked because she had convinced them that she's innocent.
Yeah. And I think her lawyers said whether or not she said to them, I did this, they said the evidence is stacked against you.
Yeah.
If you fight this and you lose, you're going to be in prison for 30 years.
Yeah.
If you go in guilty, they're going to give you what ended up being 6 years.
Yeah.
Which is what happened.
Yep.
So Jen is now in federal prison.
Jen is now in federal prison, and Heather was shocked by this.
Yes.
And Heather has still not said anything about the black guy or anything like that. But once this season started, there very much was this undercurrent of, Jen wronged all of us.
Yes.
Jen did this to all of us. And they brought in this new housewife, Monica.
Brought in Monica, who is a younger, beautiful housewife. Or I shouldn't say housewife. She's not a wife. She is divorced. She's got a whole backstory, but she does have 4 girls.
Yep.
And a crazy mother.
Yes.
So she comes in. Turns out, I think they tell us episode 1, that she used to be an assistant for Jen Shah.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's
one
got
of the many assistants.
One of the many assistants. So she was with her a lot, had a lot of tea on her.
Yep.
Knew a lot about her.
Yes.
But they really only in that first episode
touched on it.
It was kind of like, hey, by the way, this person used to work for Jen. And that's it.
That's how they kind of all knew of her.
Yes.
They all knew of Monica because she was one of Jen's assistant, and Jen was in the mix with these women as a regular housewife.
For several years. That's right.
And, but again, Jen had so many assistants and so many people kind of always around her, right? Yes. She had a gaggle of people.
Yes.
That maybe you just never really got close to any of them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, and I will say this, Monica came in, Jen's former assistant, and that's her connection to the group. But Monica was giving so much drama and so much conflict with all of these women individually.
Yeah.
That she then, I think that was her point of, I'm going to make a name for myself outside of Jen. I'm going to get plenty of airtime here.
Okay. Yeah, she did. She fought with everybody.
If I can create conflict with each of these people in some way.
Yeah.
Then we'll focus on that and less about the where I came from storyline.
Oh, okay. I like that theory.
That's my theory.
I like that. My theory. Mm-hmm. And she's good at the drama.
She is.
Monica, no, she can read somebody. She's very quick-witted.
She is.
Quick-tongued. She is Latina and some other descent. Like she's just got it. Like some of these women are speaking very slowly and slurring their words, so they can't quite keep up with someone like Monica.
They can't keep up.
She really is great, I think, housewife material in that way.
She's a Candace for me.
It is like a Candace.
She's
yes.
Who else from another franchise do I feel like is Bethany?
Bethany.
Dorinda. I mean, Dorinda.
Yeah.
No, hold on. Dorinda has really funny things she says in her confessionals. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, and it's got to be in the moment, though.
In the moment, not so much Dorinda, because she is slurring and she's a mess. But Monica's good in the moment, and she's good in confessionals. She's funny in confessionals.
She's funny, and I don't think they're feeding her those lines. I think she's just coming up with this stuff on her own.
I think she's good at it, and I hate to compliment her too much.
I know.
But
I know, and we're going to get into that because we got to figure out where we're landing on
yeah,
this.
we don't know where we land on it. But so that's the recap, is that Monica came in as Jen's former assistant.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been building up to something all season.
All season. We had a little teaser at the beginning that
Yep.
at the very end of the season, Heather Gay gets a phone call that's very shocking. And
I can't believe it's her.
I can't believe it's her.
I can't believe she did this.
I feel betrayed. I'm gonna throw up. It's just very,
You've got
very.
to be kidding me. It's her.
Yeah.
It's her.
And so we're all season long wondering, okay, what's this big revelation? What
is it about Jen?
What's going to come out? Yes. Is it about Jen? Is it about?
Did Jen say something from prison?
Yes.
Like, whatever.
Yes.
Like, we really didn't know.
And theories did begin to trickle out about Monica and Beauty Lab and Laser.
Right.
Because it came out that Monica owed money to Heather's company.
There was a lawsuit.
There was a lawsuit. Heather owns Beauty Lab and Laser. Monica had not paid like a $2,000 plus bill, and there ended up being a lawsuit. So we all kind of went into this thinking, this was the moment Heather found out that it was Monica, and it's very dramatic. So I think, at least for me, I had kind of prepared myself like, this is what it is.
This is what it is. It's about the Beauty Lab thing,
Yeah.
and we're going to find out that there has been this underlying tension between them because Heather sued her.
Yeah.
And we didn't know.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Heather got a ton of information from her hairstylist, Tanisha, where she had kind of a call to conscience, is what Heather said.
Yeah.
And that there's a troll account, Reality Von Teese.
Reality Von Teese has been an account for many years
Yeah.
that is solely existing to troll and give behind the scenes, like secret tea on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It's just for the Salt Lake City women. I think that's an important detail.
Yeah.
That this was created just to troll this set of women. And any little tidbits of dirt or whatever, hearsay, this account posted about them for years.
For years.
Now this account really went hard for Jen Shah.
It was originally created, they say, to expose Jen Shah and her shadiness because her assistants knew what was going on. They were seeing and hearing, and also, I guess she was just a monster in many other ways.
Yeah,
not just in
and
this way.
we can see
And
that.
we can see that. And so they were trying to expose her, but as Monica said herself, the rest of the women were collateral damage. And so,
and I don't know if you've seen, but they had deleted a lot of stuff off of that account.
oh, I'm sure.
So,
But the internet's forever.
the internet is forever. So there are screen grabs of things they were saying about Whitney, about Heather, about Lisa, about Meredith. This account was coming for all of them.
And not only the things they deleted, but the things that they were commenting on other people's posts.
That's true. Leaving little shady comments all over Instagram.
All over Instagram as this account. And
So let's just say, this is an account that has haunted these women for many, many years. And no one knew where it came from, who was behind it. Could it be my close friend? Could it be my neighbor? Who would be doing this to us?
Because
Why is someone coming for us so hard?
And also, what's creepy about it's not just like hard to deal with and sad, right? Because you're dealing with this. What borderlines on creepy, dangerous about it is you start to realize it can only be within this circle of people who have proximity to me.
I know, and that's
because
scary.
they know too much.
Yes, the details are too exact
They're
for
too
it to
exact.
be some random person 2 states
Sitting
over.
in his mom's basement.
Yeah, no. They knew it's somebody within
Yeah.
my circle. But what are you going to do? Drop all of your friends and acquaintances? No, you just kind of say, well, I've signed up to be a reality
I'm
TV
filming
star,
a show.
and
I'm mic'd. Things get said. Things get heard.
I mean, they probably thought, is this a producer for Bravo? Like wondering, who is this?
I think that they use that a lot. They
Yeah.
go, oh, it's just a producer. It's just a producer. But I signed up for this, la, la, la.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Heather figures out through a lot of like things that were said, things that she clocked.
She
things
put
that
on her detective cap,
She sure did.
and when she was talking through it,
Yeah.
I had the chills.
Yeah.
Y'all, in this finale episode, she begins to talk through I noticed the way she would talk about sensitive information very flippantly. I noticed the way she'd put her mom on blast and not care.
Yeah.
I noticed this. I noticed that. So Heather is talking to the camera, telling us, I started to put all these puzzle pieces together.
And she said, I had found out that Monica had 3 last names at Beauty Lab.
Yes.
She had 3 last names at Beauty Lab. Monica this, Monica this, Monica this.
Yeah, because she was going to give her a gift card.
She was going to give her a gift card.
For her birthday. So she goes to Beauty Lab.
Yeah.
Pulls up her account and is like, wait a minute. There's 3 Monicas with the same birth date.
But all different last names.
But all different last names in our system. This is weird.
And one of them hasn't paid a bill, so that's why she's creating new names.
And that's it.
And so that's what initially started the, okay, you need to pay me back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing what happened is Monica said, I can't, or I won't, or whatever. It's not me.
Yeah.
And so Heather finally had to file a lawsuit in small claims court and say, you've got to pay me back this money.
It's $2,000. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, especially as a business owner.
And also, like, are people getting beauty treatments on credit? I'm confused about that part of it.
Oh, can you?
I don't. That's not happening here in Charlotte. If you get a service, you will pay for it. You're not saying, like, put it on my tab. No.
Yeah, that is.
So I again, plastic surgery capital of the world. Maybe this is a normal thing there where it's like, send me the bill at the end of the month. I'll pay $5,000 for all my treatments. I don't know. If anybody knows, send us a DM.
That's really tripping this one up.
It is.
To know.
Yeah, I had to rewind that a few times.
This is the part that Kristen really took issue with. Who's allowed to do that?
Who's getting treatments on credit?
And so, yeah, she's just putting everything together. Then she asks somebody, can you let me know about this? And they get back to her and they say, it is Monica. She is Reality Von Teese.
She is the mastermind.
She's
behind the troll account. It was Monica all along.
Y'all.
You guy. It's so shocking it's layered shock for me.
She's been with them for 3 months.
She has been spending so much time with these women.
In their homes.
Okay, and so this is what I really wanted to say.
With their kids.
I see so many Monica stans.
Yeah.
On Instagram. And I don't know, are these paid people? I don't understand.
What's going on?
Who is a Monica stan after all of this? I don't know and I don't get it. I can understand you like the drama and that she brought drama. I agree.
Great for the TV.
Great for the TV.
Morally bankrupt.
That's it. And so when I watch these women, you can see it in their eyes. Yeah. When Heather is telling the core four, so they're all together on the beach and she reveals to the other 3 women, ladies, I have some shocking news.
Also, why is it so cold there?
I don't know. It's Bermuda.
Why is it so cold? I'm very confused. During the day, it's sunny, it's hot, they're in shorts. Yeah. And then by nighttime, they are all shivering and bundled up with pashminas.
I'll say this.
And I know there can be a big drop, but...
Yeah, Bermuda is not, it's just like east of our coast.
Have you been to Bermuda?
I have.
Oh, put it in the map.
Bing, boom. Okay, so it's east of North Carolina, let's say. So the longitude and latitude is still, I think a lot of people probably think, oh, it's an island. So it's, it's Jamaica, it's Puerto Rico, something like that.
Is it near the Bahamas?
No.
Oh.
It's out in the middle of the ocean.
Bermuda?
Yes. That's why like the whole Bermuda Triangle thing.
Oh. Okay. But you're just saying if you kept going east from here.
From North Carolina.
Okay. Because I know that the Bahamas aren't far from us.
Yeah, the Bahamas isn't too bad, but it is more south.
It is a little bit more south.
So it's going to be warm. But because Bermuda is still like in a northern part like we are, they're still experiencing seasons.
Okay, so they're dropping at night. I feel like
it was cold and windy.
Yeah, during the day, it's very sunny. They're in shorts.
Yeah.
And at nighttime, they are shivering.
They had full down blankets at that dinner.
I just didn't know it would drop that much.
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
I wonder what time of year, what month this was.
Was it January?
Maybe. I have no idea. We should look that up.
Yeah, we got to look this up.
We need to know.
When were they filming? Oh, they said the date all over the thing, didn't they? March.
Okay, so there you go.
Maybe March.
That's why, because think about here. It could be warm in the day, but it's still going to be cold at night.
Okay.
So
Well, the women were cold.
They're shivering on the beach.
They're shivering.
Heather is telling them this information. She's saying, ladies, I have some shocking news, and we 4 have been through a lot together, and I need to tell you guys now before I confront this. And she says to them, Monica is reality Von Teese. No explanation was needed. All three of them were like, their faces.
Meredith Marks.
It was horror.
Was shaking, physically shaking.
She was shaking like a leaf. She started to cry.
They were almost crying before she even got it out because they could tell how serious this was. They could tell how serious.
And because they've all been trolled by this account,
yeah.
and lies have been spread because of this account and whatever, they all immediately knew. And I could see the wheels turning, specifically in Lisa Barlow's mind, of exactly what you just said, which is, I have filmed with this person for months.
Yep.
They have been in my home.
Yep.
They have been around my children.
Yep.
Who knows what this person could have done? Did she sneak into my bedroom? Did she go in my bathroom and look in my cabinets? Did she do something weird with my kids? Immediately your wheels are turning going, I have exposed myself to this person. What information have they gathered on me?
Because what they know in that moment is this account prided itself on sneak recordings.
Sneak recordings, you're right.
And that's what it is. In their brains, I think they were thinking, wait a minute, this is the person who clearly was very close to Jen, recorded her without her consent numerous times.
And posted it.
And posted it online for everyone to see.
Yes.
And so they're now thinking, what arsenal does she potentially have of me now because she's been allowed in my circle for 3 months?
And they've gone on vacations together where you're changing clothes, you're
whatever,
whatever it might be. You believe that this is someone I can trust and it's comfortable and I can be myself. And then for Heather to drop that bomb, they were all so stunned, and the wheels, even in Whitney's mind, even in Whitney's mind, there was one wheel and it was turning,
and she started to fill. And Dill.
And she needs to help.
And she can't even believe it's real.
So here are...
I love Whitney. I think she's great for the show.
We love Whitney. Be on our podcast.
Beautiful.
Stunning.
And start the merch line.
And
start the merch line with Real Dill Phil.
Yeah, go back a few episodes and listen to that, Whitney, if you haven't heard.
But it was their brains.
And then I think Meredith's emotions from the thinking caught up with her brain. It's like her heart caught up with her brain.
Yeah.
And she started to cry and was like, why do people want to hurt us? Why do people want to tear us down?
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
What have we done?
It was
to deserve this.
So shocking. And I have to say, Heather Gay, that whole scene.
Yeah.
My God,
This might get nominated for an Emmy like Scandival did.
It could. It was that good. It was on the
production.
Beach. The breeze was blowing. There were storms in the sky. It was just the core four. It was giving The Craft. It was giving Pretty Little Liars. It was giving...
I've seen none of that, but I said yes, I did.
You know, you trust. You trust what I'm saying.
Absolutely trust what you're saying. I don't trust what Monica Garcia, Fowler, and whatever her third last name is.
Absolutely not. So Heather says to them, ladies, this is our last dinner in Bermuda.
Yep.
I'm going to confront her tonight. And I need y'all to back me up.
I need y'all to back me up. And so Heather had not gotten emotional.
She never cried.
In saying any of this. Yep. Until that moment. Did you clock that too?
Yes. I watched it multiple times.
Not enough people are talking about this.
Yeah.
That Heather has felt a bit on an island, I think, because she did stand up for Jen so much.
Yep.
And she felt alone in that.
Yes.
And she saying the words, and I need y'all to back me up on that.
She started to quiver.
She started to quiver because she knew that was the hardest ask.
It was.
She knew that was probably going to be the hardest part because maybe she didn't deserve it. Maybe she felt like these girls believed.
Yeah.
Like you chose Jen over all of us in different ways throughout these last few seasons.
You don't deserve our support.
You don't deserve our support. And so she knew that was probably going to be a tough ask. And they did it for her.
They did.
But that's where that emotion was coming from.
You're so right. She kind of had to humble herself in the moment and say,
she did.
I'll confront it, but I need y'all to back me up.
I felt like that was her apology to them in a way.
It almost was, yes.
Say, I was wrong. I did choose the wrong side. I was given bad information.
But now,
I believe someone else shouldn't.
And now she's saying, but this person, this very, very bad person, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to go to bat for us. I will spearhead this for us. I just need y'all to back me up. And they all agreed and said yes. And what I loved.
That was important.
It was very important.
That was important.
Was then they go to the dinner and we'll talk about how that unfolded. But what I liked is they really just let Heather have the floor.
They really did. Well,
At first, it was like Heather just began to
Whitney
explain.
queued her up.
Okay.
So remember, a few other girls did get their, okay, well, I'm going to now say, why did you say I was drama? Remember?
Yes.
Oh, I have something to bring up to her. Why did you say I was dramatic? And then they had to have the dramatic count. That was funny.
Yes, the drama count was
That was
hilarious.
really funny. Gosh, these editors.
The editors, the producers,
Giving it
it's everything.
Everything. And so, but then Whitney, I believe it was Whitney who said, well, Heather, who's yours? Kind of queued her up. Someone else, I haven't seen this talked about. Are we to believe, though, that Heather brought these dolls from the, making, the colonial making
I'm
thing?
wondering that. Danny,
Did
I
she
listened
pack
to
it
his.
in her suitcase?
I listened to his, and he said, are these potpourri dolls? Did Heather bring them? Does the table smell like potpourri? He had a lot of questions, and it's the most absurd thing.
It is
to
the most
think
absurd thing.
That from the butter churning event, they brought these little dolls.
It's absurd to think that Heather did, and it's equally absurd to think that production did.
I think production brought them.
But why? That is bizarre to me. And it doesn't help when people say, I think that this was all produced. It doesn't help when you have things like this happen. So hear me say this, producers, if you're listening to our podcast, and I think you are.
They are.
Don't do that. Because it makes people question
that you knew all along.
And it wasn't necessary to the story.
No.
It didn't add to anything.
No.
We could have just said, hey, everybody has to pick one of the people here at the table to air a grievance of.
Yeah, they would just put a little place card or something. Because, listen.
Draw a name out of a bowl.
These housewives, they love to play a game.
We know that. So it doesn't need to be the dolls.
Yeah.
I'm very confused by this.
Yeah.
I'm very confused by
the
this.
way that the dinner table was set
in a triangle.
It was the Bermuda Triangle. Again,
I thought that was I thought that if we are saying now Bermuda Triangle had been referenced several times.
Oh yeah.
So at least I was kind of like, okay, Triangle, Bermuda, I get it.
Yeah.
Someone thought this out. Is it a Bermuda Triangle themed dinner?
I don't know. It feels like, again, was this part of the production so that they were in this shape to represent Calamity, by the way, but where they're all facing each other and they can really kind of, I don't want to say square off, but triangle off against Monica. So, because that dinner was already set up by the time Heather told them on the beach. Do you know what I'm saying?
Correct. Yes, I do believe
that was already being set up. So, if production's just now finding out on the beach, did they scramble with the dolls and the triangle-shaped, setup? I don't know.
But the dolls were a huge miss for me.
Yeah.
That was weird. So I don't like it. Don't do that anymore. It doesn't help people to think.
To believe the reality of it.
The reality of it.
Yeah.
And we know that a lot of this has to be produced. We're not idiots. This is a TV show.
Yes. But this particular dinner, felt like it was meant to be very, very raw and real.
And it did.
It
felt shocking to me. I don't think any of these women are good enough actresses.
I agree. I was going to say that. So they go to this dinner.
Pull this off.
They go to this dinner. Like we said, there's these little dolls that came from a previous episode many weeks ago.
And we flew to Bermuda with them.
Yeah, flew to Bermuda with the dolls. So they set them up, and everybody takes a seat.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say about the dolls.
Yeah.
Last thing.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because we've been a part of productions. You've been a part of Artfully Designed.
That's true.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. They did that silly little thing with the dolls at the colonial thing, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And the cameramen and the sound engineers and the grips and the PAs and everybody is just packing all the crap up afterwards because they have to clean up afterwards, right? And they're just throwing it in big cases of crap, right? And those same cases of crap move location to location to location.
Okay. Yep.
And so potentially, they fly all their crap down to Bermuda. Yeah. They've checked all of this stuff. And they're opening things and they're miking girls up and whatever. And they're like, oh my God, these dumb dolls from the colonial thing are in here, along with whatever butter was being shaken. And you know what I'm saying?
I mean, listen, the Bravo universe loves a memorabilia item.
And they do. And they are good about hanging on to them.
They are. They like to put it in the clubhouse with Andy.
We've seen them in all the museums at BravoCon.
And I bet they'll be there next year.
Those
dolls are going to be there next year.
Yes, they freaking will.
You heard it here first. There's going to be a glass case.
We're calling it right now.
Right now.
And we will take a picture in front of them unless we are on our podcast cruise at the exact same time. But that's the only thing I can think. And then they were like, oh, you know what?
let's
They're
just put
here
them out.
anyway. We'll put them at each person's place setting, and it's like a throwback to the thing.
It could be.
That's the only thing I can come up with, you guys.
Yeah, it was in someone's makeup kit.
Because if Heather brought these or if production brought them,
It feels very set up.
intentionally, it feels very set up and it's weird.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. Don't do that to us.
I think more is going to be trickling out
Don't do that to us as the viewers.
about how much did they know? How much did
So-
production know?
So that's basically where we are today.
That's where we are today. Because everybody's wheels are turning with this, going, wait a minute, okay, so here, let's say this. They go to the dinner.
Yeah, we have to finish the dinner.
Yeah, they go to the dinner. They have the dolls. The purpose is to say, okay, you have Meredith's doll? Then you have to say to Meredith what your, unresolved issue is with her. What is your mystery with her? What do you need to figure out? And so the two ladies would talk, hash it out, and then we move on to the next person. So this is a great technique to get drama, to get people fired up. No real friends would ever do this in real life, but this is what we do on Housewives. Okay.
Right.
So they go around, and then Whitney says to Heather, she tees her up and says, do you have anything you need to say to
what
someone?
doll would you pick or whatever?
Yeah.
And she's like,
Well, and then so Heather turns to Monica.
yeah.
And in a very dramatic way,
Yeah.
I encourage you all to watch this even if you don't care.
Uh-huh.
In a very dramatic way, reveals to her, we know that you are reality Vonties.
Mm-hmm.
We all at this table
We all
know
know.
who you are now. And you are a liar. You are a snake.
You're a
You are-
cyberbully.
You are a cyberbully. You are a phony.
Uh-huh.
Now, at first, Monica says, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
She tries to defend it, and I couldn't believe it.
I don't run that account.
I was shocked because by the time I watched it, y'all, I already knew what had happened, and I knew that this was her.
Because Sarah and I had already.
Yeah. And I had seen it
Group
all over
texted.
Twitter and Instagram. Like, I knew what was coming. So to see her say, it's not me, I thought, she's really going to try to play this off.
This girl can lie to anybody.
And
She a lie.
And again, that
That's-
should shock everybody.
Yes.
Wow, she's still lying about this, but not until Heather went on her rant and said, I have receipts,
It was the clapping.
I have screenshots, I have posts, I have Instagram, I have DMs, I have everything I need to prove that you are a cyber bully. Like, she went off. And as soon as Heather started to say all that, okay, then Monica starts to
She's
backpedal.
dropping all the names that they have to bleep
Uh-huh.
for
Yeah,
legal
she's
reasons.
She's dropping the names.
Which now we know are the Koa,
Yes.
Tanisha, and like some other names. but-
Yes, she's saying the names, and this is making Monica realize, oh crap, like she knows that.
You know what I wanted them to do? I wanted them to say, if you're not an admin on it, open up your phone to Instagram right now and show me.
Show us.
And I guarantee you, had she opened that up,
Yep,
it would have
it would have popped up at the bottom right.
as an account.
Yeah, you could switch to another account.
Switch
and
to
it,
another
and
account.
it would have been one of hers.
Just call her out on it right that very
show
second.
us.
Show us. So you're not? Prove it. You can prove it in 2 seconds right now that you're not even logged in.
Woo! They should have.
I would have loved that.
Man, that would have been great. So they eventually corner her.
And she eventually says,
Yeah,
there are many of us.
yeah. It's not just me. I didn't start it.
Yeah, she's like, it's, you're right and you're wrong or something.
Yeah.
She said like, I am and I'm not.
Yeah.
Like there's many many beings, many
Yeah,
humans, something. She had a very weird way of saying like,
She was trying to kind of play it off like, yeah, I sort of dabbled in this,
but I
at
didn't
one
even start
time.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't start it. I'm not the originator of it. And the only thing I ever did was talk about Jen. I
Talk
was just
about
trying
Jen.
to expose Jen.
It to me, y'all, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was just Jen, even if that is true, which I don't believe you because you're a liar.
Right.
You're
It
a
does-
liar on a liar on a liar.
Yeah.
So I don't believe you. But even if I did, that part doesn't matter. You've been wrapped up in an organization that is meant to bully and lie about this group of women you're pretending to be friends with. You are a snake.
You said yourself, the rest of them were collateral damage.
Yes.
You can't say that about people.
No.
And then get to be in their home.
No.
You don't get that.
Oh.
You don't get that right. And
So this dinner pops off.
this dinner pops off. It was crazy.
It was great. Heather had a whole speech, but each of them had something to say to her. All of them got very fired up. I loved to see it.
Let's talk about Meredith. So let's talk about, again, we're talking about repetitive lying, right? So seasons before, we had found out Meredith Marks has a store here in Salt Lake City.
Oh.
And we had found out seasons ago that a handbag had been stolen from her store, and it traced back somehow to Jen Shaw, an assistant, someone.
Yeah, Jen's posse of people.
Jen's posse of people.
There was a video recording from the store to show that Jen and her posse had come in, and when they left, the clutch was gone.
The handbag is missing.
Yeah.
Now, Monica was there the day that this happened.
She
is
sure was.
one of the assistants. She was dressed.
She's on the video.
In a blonde wig and a mask on her face.
Blonde wig and mask. But it's her, all right.
It's definitely Monica.
Yeah.
And she has since admitted that it's her on that video, but that she didn't steal the clutch. They don't know what happened, but she didn't steal the clutch. That doesn't matter. What matters in this entire scenario is that this season on camera, they had a scene where Monica goes to Meredith's store. And is going to do a little shopping, and she's going to show her some jewelry and the whole thing. And she walks in and she says, "Oh my gosh, give me a second to take it all in. It's my first time here."
This is so cute. It's my first time here.
This is such a cute store. I've never been here before.
And Meredith, knowing nothing, is like, "Oh yeah, it's great." Shows her around, blah, blah, blah. Well, now we know.
And Meredith has since come out and told us on her Twitter that right before they went to Bermuda, she was sent the footage. The security footage from the store, and was told, Monica has been in your store before.
Oh.
Meredith says that's why she was so weird on this trip.
Oh, so like disengaged. I mean, that is her word. But she was so disengaged.
She was so disengaged. She was trying to watch what she was saying, specifically when Heather said, "You've really gotten yourself into a mess here."
Yes, because now normally Meredith, any of these housewives, if they're accused of something, they're going to defend themselves, right? They're gonna bark back. They're gonna do what they can to prove, like, I didn't do that. I didn't say that. When Meredith continued to be accused of something, she was very quiet.
Very quiet.
She would not say anything. She would just kind of keep her cool, and again, just seemed very disengaged.
Well, that's why she said, that's why I was super weird throughout the trip, as I had been told this information. So then I had to think in my brain, but we filmed there. She said it was her first time.
Yeah.
So if she's lying about that, is she lying about being the one who didn't steal it? Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, she then thought, well, if she's lying about this, then this whole scene that she's trying to do with me about Angie Greek Mafia DMs, is she somehow lying and trying to pin this all on me?
Yes.
And so I'm now having to be very careful about what I say until I have more facts.
Yes, 100%.
And she said I couldn't gather those at that time. I just couldn't quite figure out what was going on.
It's so interesting that as Meredith's piecing things together, Heather's piecing things together.
The House of Cards eventually falls.
Yes.
It eventually falls.
And it's honestly, the way, y'all, that this episode was edited, they made it so fascinating.
Bravo.
I mean, I just couldn't get enough. They could have
titillating.
They could have shown me 3 hours of that.
Absolutely,
footage, and I would have gobbled it all up.
I wanted to see every bit of that dinner. So
Me
Meredith,
too.
so Meredith brings that up to her. She says, to Monica, she's like, "You said it was the first time in my store.
Liar.
You're a liar." Like, that is such a simple thing, but you still lied about it. Why?
So you lied just now, trying to say this isn't your account, and it is. You lied about the thing in the store.
Yeah.
And then, what did she bring up with Angie?
So then she said, "Oh, Angie, I'd watch out what you're saying. I'd watch what you're saying. You want to talk about your involvement with it? You want to talk about your involvement?" Well, the only thing that they could prove in production, at least it looks like, is that Angie had like, "Ha ha ha. LOL."
Had replied to some stories.
Replied to some stories like, "Ha ha ha." And then one that she actually had words with was something about Angie H.
Okay.
Like, yeah, she's thirsty or something like that. But
yeah.
Angie H maybe is.
Like, she is.
It doesn't matter. Like, that's already been proven and done, and it doesn't matter. No one gives a crap about Angie H.
And she wasn't brought back.
Except for the fact that she looks identical to Sarah Paulson.
I mean, she does.
It's shocking.
And she should lean into it again.
Honestly, you should have just made merch with, and it should have said, but have you ever seen Sarah Paulson and me in the same place?
Ooh.
That's it.
Wow.
That's the shirt.
That's good. That's a really good idea.
I can no longer continue to just give these gems out for free.
Wow.
I need to be a consultant.
I would have bought that.
Right? I would have bought it.
Mm.
Okay. So that's all it seems like Angie K had to do, because if there was something more mind-blowing, then Monica would have given it.
She would have given it.
Yeah. Here, show
all
this.
it is Angie would react to some of their stories over the years. Okay,
Yeah.
big deal.
Ha, ha, ha.
Who cares?
Yeah.
But I'm sure that all of those women were thinking, how have I interacted with this account?
Yeah, they were.
What have I said over DMs that I thought were private?
Yep.
And Monica knows that. I mean, she does know that she holds the cards a little bit here, and could maybe expose some things down the road.
Which is why she is now leaning so hard into this.
Okay, but maybe that's what's in the burn book.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys, the episode finishes with Heather looking at Monica and saying, "Pack your bags and leave."
No, something else happened right before that.
Wait, what?
You know.
Why am I forgetting?
No, what happens is Heather looks at Angie and says, "We have lied for another person. We have defended her."
That's right. How could I forget this?
I rode so hard for her that I lied, even on my book tour, every single night being asked the same question about who gave me the black eye. And it was Jen.
It was Jen
and
Shaw.
She finally admits it.
Heather finally admits that Jen Shaw gave her the black eye.
And she had to, and that we all know. She
knew.
waited until after sentencing.
Yes. Because that would have made it worse, possibly.
It would have made it worse for Jen. But ultimately, when the producer said, "Who are you protecting in not saying this?" And Heather's response was, "Myself. I'm protecting myself." I don't think Heather wanted to get wrapped up in a lawsuit.
No.
To be listed now as someone who is going against Jen.
No one wants to be going up against Jen Shaw.
I just don't think that she even wanted to have to deal with lawyers. And I bet she was thinking, like, I don't want to have to spend the money on this. I don't want to have to do any of it.
Because and she kept asking them to, like, please drop it. Please stop asking me about it.
Stop asking me.
I don't care, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. But then in this moment, her giving her speech to Monica, she did say, finally, she said it.
But I think it was
Jen gave me the black eye.
I think it was because Monica already knew.
Oh.
Monica already knew this. So that's why Monica said, "Well, I'm glad to see that you finally told the truth about one thing."
That's true. She did say that.
Because Monica already knew that.
Oof.
And so I think that Heather had to.
I wonder if Heather had
The sentencing's already done.
Yeah. And this has been a Salt Lake City mystery for years now.
Yeah.
I wonder if Heather had told her hair girl. And the hair girl,
potentially,
who was wrapped up with Monica.
Heather and Tanisha are still friends.
They're still, she still does her hair.
She still does her hair. They're talking. They're supporting each other on Instagram. You can see.
Yeah.
Heather's post right after this was, "I finally found my voice." And Tanisha was one of the first people to comment, like, "Love you, girl." And she was like, "Thank you so much. I'm forever indebted to you for finally telling me the truth.
For owning up to it. Now, here's what I think with the Tanisha of it all, the hairdresser.
Yeah.
I do think that she did have some involvement in this.
For sure. She was it seems like she was at least I don't know if she was an admin on the account.
Yeah, I don't know if she started it. I don't know if she was an admin, but she definitely was
dabbling.
Knew
what was going on.
She definitely knew it was going on, and she was dabbling in it somewhat. But she did have some screenshot receipts where Tanisha's saying to Monica, "Please stop bringing this stuff up.
Yes.
I don't want to hear about it.
Take me off the text thread.
Take me off this thread. All I care about are the people I love in my life." Like, she kept saying that to Monica. So she at least has that proof. Maybe years ago she had more involvement.
Yes.
And then realized, like, this is not good. And maybe it then did start to trickle into the other ladies and not just Jen Shaw. And I mean, listen, we got to say this. Someone taking down Jen Shaw, I'm not mad at that.
No.
Right?
None of us disagree that Monica could have done that and then just stuck with that.
And just stuck with that because Jen Shaw is a bad person.
Yes.
She was scamming the elderly out of their life savings. She did very, very, very bad things. And so appreciate someone that's going to help the case to say, yeah, this is a bad person and she needs to rot in
She
prison.
did testify against her, I believe, and all that. But
Yeah.
my question with that is still, but you stayed around her.
Mhm.
You still proved that you're comfortable showing up every day to work, knowing you're working for a crook,
That's true.
still filming her without her consent.
That's true.
And then putting it on, instead of just going to the authorities
Yeah.
and saying all of this, you started an Instagram account about it.
Yeah.
As in to like, I don't know. I still think that that's poor character.
Oh, agree. I mean, the right thing to do absolutely would have been, as soon as you know that this is happening,
Yeah.
you quit
Yes.
and then you tell the authorities. That it's 1 and 2. That's what
Yes.
you do. But that is not what Monica did. But
and so
again,
she's acting like she's the hero here.
yeah, but I think maybe that's part of it. This whole thing.
So bizarre.
This is a scheming person, and this is
Yeah.
where I'm struggling with the folks that are still supporting Monica on Instagram. I'm seeing people who are like, "We stan, you are our queen."
On her live.
On her live, we saw plenty of comments
Wow.
coming in, just people delighted by her, and I'm going, none of y'all would want to be friends with this person. You would not trust this person. You wouldn't want them around your family.
No.
Yeah, you like it for your TV, but you've got to stop and consider what these other women feel like now,
Yeah.
knowing that they brought her into the fold.
Yes.
This is someone dark-hearted.
Yes.
She has a dark heart. She probably learned a lot of that from Jen. Her mom is a little
Her mom.
unwell.
Have you seen the videos that came out this morning?
No, of her mom.
Her and her mom arguing after that Easter lunch at Angie K's.
It's like that we didn't see on the show.
That we didn't see. She sent it to apparently Tanisha. Tanisha swears she is not the leak of this, but it somehow made it to a Bravo account.
Is
and
it bad? Are
posted
they like
it.
in the driveway or something?
They're in her home.
Oh,
And it's her and her mom arguing. And her mom is giving Toddlers and Tiara's mom, stage mom, a little Abby Lee Miller.
No.
Oh, yeah. She's like, you totally ruined all of your scenes. You need to remember that you're an actress first here. You are making a show. You need to be good with all of these women. Remember, the goal always, Monica, is more airtime, more screen time. And if you're going to be telling me things and fighting with me, then that's not getting screen time with the girls. You need to play the game. Play the game with them. I've tried to tell you this. It was giving pageant mom.
Oh my gosh.
They are screaming back and forth. You know, she brings up the fact that, you didn't even care that I fell down the stairs. And her mom's like, no, I didn't.
Oh, their
so bad.
relationship.
And their girls are walking in the background. And
They
it's
are?
just, oh yeah, they're just screaming in front of her.
Those poor
kids.
girls.
Those poor kids.
Okay. Just know that Monica and her mom have been a little bit of like a highlight in Monica's arc this season.
Because she
And
has
it
to
is
film
so
with someone.
She's got to film with somebody. It is so toxic. I have never seen a mother-daughter relationship like this before. It's hot. It's cold.
It's mommy dearest.
It's bad. It's really, really bad. So I'm not shocked that this came out, but it's also, I mean, for her mom to be saying that, it's like, well, then did her mom know that she was behind this account?
No, I'm getting the feeling, I don't think that her mom did. I think that her mom is just very much like trying to produce the show.
Yeah, she's kind of fame hungry.
Yes, and I guess what Monica sent this video to Tanisha and said something like, "Oh, not my mom thinking that she's the star of this show." So it was more Monica just being shocked, like, I've created a monster here.
Oh,
And
my gosh.
And so I'm just thinking, like, again, you would video anybody and send it to anyone.
Yeah.
And so all the women are now thinking this, like, this is what she's going to do to us. She probably has
footage.
an arsenal, some would say.
An arsenal.
Like, people accused Margaret Josephs.
You're right.
I mean, arsenal.
but
and
she-
Margaret does not have this, I tell you.
But she probably does have an arsenal.
She absolutely does.
There's part of me.
She absolutely does.
I just can't wait for this reunion because I have so many additional questions about. I could see someone like Meredith saying, like, trying to get a lawyer involved and saying, we demand to see your phone.
Absolutely. Well, Lisa Barlow could call one of her five.
Cybersecurity.
One of her five? Is
Yeah.
that how many she said she called on the van?
One of her 5 lawyers.
Yeah.
And she has a cybersecurity team.
Yeah.
So where are they? They should have cracked this case a long time ago.
I think so. Well,
But-
now
but-
the questions are, how much should production know?
Yes. So, and that's what I'm saying is this to me gets very messy because did production know she was behind this Instagram account and they thought, let's bring this girl in and this is going to get real sloppy. And then we're going to drop a few hints to Heather or somebody and then they're going to expose it by the end of the season and it's going to be great. That's a possibility.
I don't think they did.
Or let me say this, maybe just one person on the Bravo production side of things, whoever that is, an executive, whoever, got wind. And in their little brain, they thought, I'm just going to reach out to some Salt Lake City locals and see who we can come up with. Monica maybe happened to be one of them. Then Monica happens to get cast on the show. Oh, she's great on screen. So it's possible that not all of production knew, but it only takes one who knew
To dribble it out.
to say, let's see if Monica, let's do a test on the screen with her and see if she's any good. And then she turns out to be great on the screen, as we saw.
She's great on screen.
And they said, great.
Well, what's come out today in this topic is we have found out that in 2021, Jen Shaw's firm, her lawyer's firm,
Yes.
sent a cease and desist letter to Monica
Yeah.
and to 2 other people saying, shut down Reality Von Teese 2. So remember, they had to have so many accounts because they kept getting busted and shut down.
Yeah. Multiple accounts.
So there's Reality Von Teese and then 2 and then 3 and then whatever. And so people are saying, wait a minute.
Yeah. If Jen Shaw and her
Jen
lawyers
Shaw-
knew in 2021,
that Monica was a part of Reality Von Teese, then how did at least Heather not know
How did
as one of
nobody
Jen's
else?
friends?
Right.
For me, this is what I'm going to say because, again, I don't think that production wants to be this messy. I don't think that, and we've heard the producers speak at these Bravo panels saying, we are here to make good TV, never get that wrong. But we are not trying to script it.
Okay.
We want the people to come to us with their genuine information. And that they don't want it to be this nasty where people won't film with other people because then they don't have a show.
Right. That's it.
So look what's happened.
I don't know if any of them are going to film with Monica next season.
Monica hasn't been asked back.
She hasn't been asked back, and I don't think any of them could ever trust her again.
Kristen, why didn't they do a Salt Lake City panel at BravoCon?
That's why.
This is why. Why was Monica seated away from them out Watch What Happens Live and the Bravos? They refuse to sit next to her. So my point being,
That's why they didn't do the panel.
yeah, they didn't do the panel.
Y'all, we said this. We were like, why? Of all the franchises, why are you not giving us the Salt Lake City panel? And that's why. They refuse to be around her,
They refuse to be around her, near her. They will not sit, nothing.
Wow.
And
They're going to ice her out.
That's why. So I'm saying I don't think production could have known the extent because then we don't have a show, right?
That's true.
We can't hire her back. People will refuse to film with her.
Right.
So what are we going to do with all this information? Great. It was really good. And now what?
Yeah.
They would have had to have thought this through.
That's true.
So number one, I don't think production knew. I think that they brought Monica on because she testified against Jen in court and Jen can't be here.
The Jen link
Jen
definitely is juicy.
It was all that they needed,
and
I think.
I think so. I think it was smart to be like, this isn't Jen. We can't have Jen anymore. She's in prison.
Right.
But this is someone that was close to her and probably knows some little things and is going to drop some little, factoids here and there.
And maybe if they did think, well, or maybe if somehow, some way they found out about Reality Von Teese, they thought that it was only an anti-Jen campaign. They didn't think it was everybody else, and they didn't really look, and they didn't really care. The other thing I will say is, when it comes to lawsuits and lawyers and filing off cease and desist letters and it is very possible that Jen didn't even know her lawyer was sending them this letter.
Well, that's true.
Because your lawyers do things on your behalf all the time. They're filing this and they're making this injunction.
That's
they're
a
going to your
good
mediation.
point.
But
That's a good point because she was so in over her head anyway.
She was
They probably found every single account
yes.
that was trolling her and exposing her, and they sent the letter to everybody.
Just sending it to everybody, right? So who's to say that Jen even knew this? Now let's back it up a step. Let's say Jen did know. Let's say Jen somehow knew Reality Von Teese and that Monica was it. And that's what kind of catapulted the big fallout. And Monica saying, yeah, I am going to testify against you because you ratted out that I was on this account. Who knows? But if that's the case, it still doesn't prove that Jen told any of the other girls about it.
No.
Because Jen at this point is still saying, I'm innocent. I didn't do anything wrong. And so
That's true.
So maybe Jen is thinking, I don't want to bring anything that could look shady up against me to anybody and just continue to like sweep all the law stuff under the rug.
Under the rug. She just was pretending it wasn't happening.
We're pretending it's not happening.
She was still like actively posting to Instagram leading up to her court date and getting her weave done and doing all of these things. And it was like, do you know that you're maybe about to go to prison for a long time?
She did not.
Wow. Okay. That is giving me many things to.
So maybe
I never thought to think.
Well, it's hard to do, especially with this much phlegm in my head. But I
never thought to think.
What I'm trying to do is give people the benefit of the doubt, because I know a lot of people want to believe that no, Heather must have known. Why are we all of a sudden acting like we didn't know this and yada yada? And for me, I just don't think that these girls are good enough actresses. Sorry.
I know. I thought the same thing.
I'm going to keep coming back to that.
Give them an Oscar. If we're saying that they actually knew and this was their reaction, that was fake. Absolutely not. There's no way.
How would they be willing if they knew going into the season?
They wouldn't film with her in the first place
because they're not going to film with her now.
Correct.
So I just don't believe that. And I can't think that they're good enough actresses this whole season to like just, we're around her and we're not even going to bring this up.
I also think maybe for Jen, it was embarrassing for her to admit, people I surrounded myself with turned on me and filmed me and they started troll accounts.
That's what I'm saying.
She's not going to want to even admit that out loud.
No, that's exactly it. And again, if the whole premise of it was it's an account to take me down, well, that's already happened. So like it has nothing to do with any of the other girls anyway. Right. And I don't there might have been a lot of stuff on there that some of the other girls hadn't even really paid attention to that Jen was doing. And she's like, I'm not going to bring any more to it.
Well, remember when Scandival went down?
Yeah.
It happened.
I remember. I think about it every day.
Every day. It's our Roman Empire.
Yeah.
So this went down. The whole thing was revealed. It was shocking. It was crazy. And within days, there's the idea floating that this was all a setup. Mm-mm. They already knew. This was pre-planned. Tom and Ariana weren't even together. Right. They just did this to revive the season, right? Like those rumors were swirling. And this is kind of giving that again. And again, I say, they aren't good enough actors and actresses to be pulling this off.
Y'all have seen them act.
Yeah,
let's stop.
It's not good.
It's not good. And we have picked apart Scandival. Up, down, forward, back. We have dug and dug and dug and dug.
Yeah.
And not one person has been able to come to the realization that Ariana knew that this was going on.
There's no way.
She didn't know.
Her reaction on that one-on-one with Tom, that was real.
She did not know.
That was real.
There's no proof that she knew. There's not one text message, nothing. Nothing to prove that. And we have dug and we have tried.
Again, would she have been filming with Rachel all season long if she knew they were sleeping together?
Y'all, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You have to have some common sense about these things.
Now, another way that ties in with Scandival is I've seen some people comment and say, there's no way they're going to bring Monica back. And then people said they brought Tom back and people are filming with him.
But they didn't bring Raquel back.
I don't know if she wanted to come back.
It's true. I think that it would have had to be mutual. But I don't think. But see, at least Schwartz is still going to film with Tom.
Here's a
people
question.
Are filming
That's
with him,
true.
But no one was going to film with Monica except for in her live. That girl,
the live,
Dana.
Okay, I was about to say. Okay. In the live, she kind of had a little group of people with her in the live. They'd watched the episode together, and I mean, again, a lot of comments, people loving her. I mean, you were one of the only comments trying to hold her accountable.
That was me.
I was shook. I was like, hello. People were loving it. They like the Gossip Girl connection. They love the whole thing.
I don't get it.
And what was her name? Dana?
I think it's Dana.
Dana, somebody like that.
Y'all, that Dana girl who was a friend of.
She was on it for a little bit.
A couple seasons ago.
Yeah, a couple seasons ago, she kind of popped in and out. And somebody had asked, where did you go? Why didn't they bring you back? And she said, I don't know. They never asked me back.
Yeah.
But we see now that she is close to Monica. So would Bravo try to bring these two back? But I just don't see a Meredith Marks saying, sure, I'll go on vacations with them.
Nope.
Sure, I'll film with them. There's no way. So what's the connection point here?
I think that Dana, if they ask Dana back as a full-time or a friend of, then she can film with Monica.
But how are these women going to vacation together?
They're not going. I don't know. This has just gotten icky because we never want to believe that our housewives are secretly filming each other as blackmail. And they don't want that either. They're like, I'm already putting my whole life in front of this camera.
I know.
To expose me of all of my flaws.
There has to be a level of trust. Like with any relationship any of us have, you have to say, well, I choose to be around them. I vacation with them. We travel. We do things. I have to trust them somewhat, right?
Yeah.
Whether you want to or not, whether Luann wants to trust Ramona, it is a baseline of trust.
There's a baseline.
That has been shattered with
That's why they won't be around her. They will not panel with her. They won't do anything. The fact that they did the reunion is probably only because it was close enough to the ending as much hadn't have been revealed maybe yet.
And I think contractually they have to come to the reunion, and they probably had more questions that they wanted answered.
Yep.
And I think this, in their minds, they thought, this is our moment to say once and for all what we want to say to this woman.
We're going to say our piece.
Yeah.
And then we will never speak to her again.
I will never see you again.
Because if you don't see each other, if you do not speak to each other, they cannot weaponize the things that you do in front of them or say to them.
That's how I would feel. I'm just saying, if I was in Lisa Barlow's pumps, I would be feeling the same way. Just like, dang.
And her saying simple things like, I never drove by Jen's house. And then we find the video of her driving by Jen's house with a thing wrapped around her head so she wouldn't be seen. She sends text pictures showing, taking a picture of someone's home, circling the window and saying JEN right here. Like, y'all.
Yep.
You just lied about that. At this point, she should have just been honest and been like, I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I was in a dark part of my life.
Yeah.
I just felt like.
It's been lie after lie after lie.
You can't trust her.
I think the only way that maybe she could have redeemed or like been able to come back is if she had gone to the reunion, and maybe, I don't know, we'll see what the reunion looks like, but to go to the reunion and be like, I know this was bad.
Yeah.
I see now the error of my ways. I see that I shouldn't. But she leaned in, and in the preview for the reunion, y'all, she pulls out the burn book.
Which the timing of that now is not
questioned.
great, and it's being questioned because today Bravo launched their collab with Mean Girls the movie.
Yep.
And all of them are talking about burn books, and so people are like, wait a minute.
Right.
Is Monica holding a burn book at the reunion just another ad for the Mean Girls movie that Bravo is apparently doing a collab with? Now, again, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we'll get, to me,
I think it's just bad timing.
Burn book is part of our lexicon now.
Yeah, we all know what it means. We talk about it.
We've talked about it on this podcast.
Yeah.
So I just think it's terrible timing, and again, makes production look a little suspect.
Yeah, it does.
But I don't think that was intentional. I don't think that because we would have all put that together. See, what these any network now has to know is that their viewers are smart, cunning, detectives.
And now we have social media. The social media of it all. We can send private DMs, and we can research, and we can dig, and we'll
figure everything out.
And we can take screenshots of it all, and then we have receipts forever. Like, we can't be stopped.
No.
We can't be stopped.
We can't be stopped. So I don't think that, I think that they would have been like, no, people will put two and two together if we do that. So let's not. I think that Monica genuinely made a burn book.
They talked about it on the live.
They talked about it on the live. They're like, we should sell these.
Yeah, they said, Monica, you could make copies of this, sell it, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Now, do I think that'd get her in a whole heap of trouble legally? Yes, I do, depending on what's in there.
But she wouldn't have even suggested that. Like, they would have been like, oh, no, it was part of an ad. Like, they would have just said it, I think.
Yeah. No, she said she was up till like 4 a.m. putting this book together the night before the reunion.
And she really was. Because this is her. And, I mean, look at what she's doing now. She is leaning in.
She is leaning
to the reality Von Tease. She did a whole photo shoot.
Yep.
Lighting papers on fire.
That's what I'm saying.
Exposing herself.
There's no, like, I'm going to humble myself, or I'm going to own what I did, or
No.
I'm going to apologize.
No
There's
remorse.
none of that. No remorse, y'all. And so how can Bravo offer her a contract if all of those women are looking at Bravo saying, you bring her back, I'm done?
No.
They're not going to get rid of them.
No.
No way. They're not going to choose her over them. No.
No. Monica, I don't see a path moving forward whatsoever for her unless it's Dana coming back on the show and then Dana filming with her, but no one else is going to. Unless these core 4 have a massive falling out, one of them decides to go to Monica and say, tell me everything you know.
Yep.
And then Monica comes back in. And of course, that could happen.
I could see a Whitney. Having a falling out.
I
and
could see
saying, you know, you don't like me and we're not friends. And her tracking down Monica and saying, give me the tea. And then they buddy up. And remember, Mary is still on the periphery of all of this.
And Mary and Monica apparently love each other.
Yeah, Mary and Monica really get along. So let's say
I don't want any Mary on my television.
Let's say, we are
I've told
not,
you that.
we are not Mary fans. But let's say we've got Monica. Monica's this candle right here.
Okay.
And then we have Dana.
We have Mary.
We have Mary. And then if there's one of the core 4 that splits off,
Then it's 4 versus 3. It could happen.
stranger things have happened.
Yeah, they certainly have, especially in the Bravo verse. And more things are going to continue to come out, you guys.
I know.
And
It feels like every hour on the hour.
all we can do is watch what happens.
Go to BravoTV.com for more information, I guess.
Yeah. And in the meantime, if you have any good suggestions about what we should call this segment.
Yes, our new
Because
Bravo
we are recording
segment.
a podcast.
We are recording a podcast. We're not just talking to each other. We are recording a podcast. But literally, y'all, when I pull up my phone, like Bravo TV's at the top.
It is.
Like when I open Instagram, it's going to be Bravo related every time.
And we thank you, Bravo, for
thank you.
enriching our lives so much with this content, with these TV shows, with this channel.
Yes.
And we understand that there are things that other people do with their time. Productive.
Yeah.
Productive.
But this is one of my hobbies.
But this is, and we are allowed to have a guilty pleasure hobby.
Absolutely.
And never let anyone convince you that you aren't allowed to have a hobby and a guilty pleasure.
That's
and if
right.
Bravo is yours, you are welcome here. You
That's
can
right.
sit at this table because that's all we want to talk about.
That's right. And it does bring people together. You can
Yep.
be instant friends with someone. If I see someone out with a Send It to Daryl sweatshirt on, I know that person's a real G.
Yep.
And that we would get along and be friends.
I say if something happens in this Walmart, it's you and me, babe.
That's right.
Send it to Daryl.
That's right.
It's you and me. And we make eyes. We lock. It's just it's a wink and a nod. And we know. We know what's going down.
Oh my gosh.
And that's where I think we end it.
Okay.
We ended on Send It to Daryl.
To be continued.
Bye.